So hey everyone, today we are solving a problem which is two-sum problem, and this is a easy type of problem, and this is a leetcode problem. Okay, so what we have in this problem, we basically have an array. Let's take an array, and we have some values in the array, and we have another value which is target. In this case, let's suppose we have 7, and we have to return the index of two values from this array such that their sum is equal to the 7. In this case, if we say this is what we have as index, so the two values that we can add to get this target is 5 and 2. So here the answer is 2 and 3, because the index of 2 is 2 and the index of 5 is 3. So we can simply return it. Now how we can solve it? There are a lot of solutions we can think in the very starting. Whenever we are going to solve some problem, we always need to think about a brute solution so that we can think why it is brute and how we can optimize it. Okay, so so here let's talk about a brute solution. So the very brute solution is we can iterate through this array. So let's suppose we have 1, 3, 2 and 5. So we basically have 1 in our hand, and to get the sum, so let's suppose target is 7 and we have 1 in our hand, so 7 minus 1 is 6. So we basically search for 6 in the remaining part of the array. If we got the 6 in this array, then we got our solution and we can simply return the index of that array. But here you can see 6 is not there, then we simply go next. We have 3 and the target is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. You can see we don't have 4 here. Then we simply go and search for next value, which is 2, and 7 minus 2 is 5. And you can simply see that we have 5 here. So if I add indexing here, you can see that 2 is at index 2 and 5 is at index 3, and we can simply return 2 and 3, and that's how we get our answer. Now if we talk about the time complexity and space complexity, that is very important here. Then we are not using any extra space, but we are actually iterating for each element. If we take any number out of this array, we basically iterate all the remaining array. So for every array, so if we say the length of this array is n, then for every element inside the array we are searching n minus 1 size of array. So for every n we are searching n minus 1. If we solve it is n square minus n, and if I take the maximum value out of it, which is n square, so its time complexity is n square. That is very high, because in this question the maximum value we can get, the array length is 10 raised to the power 4, and if you make it square it is 10 raised to the power 16, and we got time complexity here. So you are not able to solve this problem with this brute solution. Then how we can solve it? So whenever we basically look for optimization, we just need to think what actually is the problem. So in this case, if you see this case, the main problem is whenever we are considering any element in the array, we need to find the target element in the array, and that finding actually makes the time complexity high. So for each element we need to search for n minus 1 part of array. So whenever we think in that way, we obviously have multiple solution. We need to think about how we can reduce the search time. So that is the problem right now, reducing search time. So in problem solving, or whenever you are solving some equation like that, there are some very plain methods according to the problem. That is, if we are using array, we can use hash maps. Okay, so hash map searching complexity is we go 1, and we can use sorting also. We can use sorting on our array, and that time complexity is log n, or n log n, sorry. So that time complexity is n log n for sorting. So we can use these two. But in this problem there is one edge case we need to think about. That is, if we have a duplicate element, how we can solve it. So we can have a situation where array is 3 or 3 and the target is 6. Now if you see this case, you can see that we have duplicate elements too. So in this situation the answer is 0 and 1. So these are all the edge case. So whenever you are deriving some solution, just think about edge cases, so that first, if you build the other solutions and you don't know about the edge case, then obviously maybe you are taking a very wrong solution. Maybe it not handle some case, and that is a very big problem for us. But now we basically solve this problem using hash map. Okay, and how we can use hash map to solve this problem. Let's take another array here. Okay, so let me take some values, 2, 7, 11 and 15, and the target is 9. Now how we can solve it? So what we do, we basically iterate each element, and we are using some space which is nothing but a hash map. And initially the hash map is very empty, there is nothing inside it. But as we iterate each element, check uh, we basically check whether we have the target value present in our hash map, and if we got this, we basically return the indexes. Okay, let me iterate with you, and then you will find it. Okay. So here in this case we have 2. So if we do 9 minus 2, which is 7, you can see has 7 in our hash map. No, so it means we don't have 7 right now. So we basically put 2 inside it, and the value of hash map is 0. So we basically adding index here as value, and in the form of array, because we know that we can have multiple or duplicate values, so we need to think also. Okay, so let's move again. We have 7, so 7 as a value. So 9 minus 7, which is 2. And now you can simply see here that 2 is present in our hash map. Then it means that 2 is present and the index of 7 is 1. So we can simply return 1, and we can get the index of this value, which is 0. And this is our answer here. This is our answer here. Great. Now let's take another example of values where we have that duplicate thing. Okay, so let's take the 3 and 3 case, and again the target is 6, the index is this, and okay, let's take this example, and then we will try to solve another thing. Dry run code is helpful to understand the concepts. Okay, so here if you see, we have 3 and the target is 6. So 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 is not present in this, so we will put 3, and the index of 3 is 0 right now of this element. Now we go for the next element, which is again 3, since 6 minus 3 is 3, and you can see that this 3 is present in our hash map. So we got the answer. So the index of this element is 1, and the index of this hash map value is 0. So we can simply return 1 and 0, and we got the answer here. And that is how we can easily solve this problem using hash map. Using a hash map here, and we are iterating through the array, and we are checking for target minus nums. If that is present in our array, we are simply returning the index we are iterating on, and the index of the target element that we stored in the hash map. If that target minus num minus nums of I value is not present in the hash map, then we are simply storing it in the hash map. And if you see this problem, you can see that there is always a solution. So there is not any case that we don't got a solution here. Thank you.